Are we live, Adib?
Yeah, we're live. We are officially live.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Welcome back to another Build in Public call. 2 weeks since the last one. Good to see you guys. Unfortunately, not great times for the streaming project, but we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment, I guess. So yeah, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Like you said, times are a bit bearish here in crypto, but it's we've been through many of these. Me personally, I know you guys have been too. So this is a time to really focus on building and bringing something that can be fully utilized and taken advantage of once things start to become a little bit more optimistic. And I think we're getting near that, but gotta hold tight till then.
Yeah. I think we're getting near to that as well. Obviously, the bad news at a project level is the data taken was delisted from Binance last week, which is a disaster, obviously. Some of us had seen it coming, and as I said in the Discord message to the community, those of us in the core team, we did everything we could to try and save that listing. We've been speaking with Binance directly for a long time. We've always had a good relationship with them. They, at the beginning of the year, they gave us the warning tag. They communicated to us that the book wasn't deep enough in terms of liquidity. We worked with our market makers to fix that. We took some other actions as well on top. But then beginning of this month, February, they delisted. So probably they'd already made up their mind in 2025, and the tag at the beginning of January was the first step of the delisting. So yeah, it's a very sore point for everyone in the community and in the core team. It represents a loss for sure, and it puts the project in a difficult position in that we don't really have the resources that we once did. Regardless, we continue to try and turn this project around, and we've got now a reduced team. We're in full startup mode again, which I have to say is quite refreshing and quite nice. Sometimes less is more. And yeah, in the core team, we have myself, Petri, we have a growth marketeer, we have support from a few other developers, and then probably we'll go down to one extra developers on the side to Petri and yourself, Adib, as well. So a pretty lean team, but we're doing a lot. And I've talked about it many times on this call, of course, but we're going to launch the beta in March. For those of us that are using the alpha product, it's quite exciting because it's good. It works. Like, I'm holding investor calls on the Streamer Alpha now, as of this week. And yeah, the beta's feature rich, and there's lots of good stuff coming through. And we're going to share some of those designs from Figma, from our front end designs in this call, because we just want to give a full update in terms of what's coming. And yeah, not long now, and we're going to have a really quite incredible product. Now, it's not going to be perfect, of course, at launch, because it's a very complicated product and we're a small team. Probably it's going to be a little bit buggy, but nevertheless, it's I think it's going to be a step change in terms of the platforms that are out there currently. So we've talked about kind of core features, restreaming a la StreamYard or Restream. It has use cases that span the sort of Loom use case. But ultimately, the value proposition is centered around being serverless and secure. So it's the most secure video conferencing product on the market. It means that corporate and government surveillance can't happen and people can't see your video streams, and so we're protecting company and project IP. So this is the essence of the pitch, and the pitch is for speaking to investors. I'm trying to capitalize the streamer video business through VC and angel investors. So yeah, we're going to market with a seed round at the moment. and yeah, it'll probably take us some months to raise. So we'll see where we're at in 2 months from now, but that's the plan as it currently looks. And then we launched Streamer Beta, and we're going to use that capital to grow the business over the coming 6 to 12 months in a sort of direct-to-consumer manner. So yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting actually as you speak to investors and sort of, people in our network about the plans, and different people respond differently to it. So I had a call yesterday with a Web3 content creator and influencer who has got a huge network and is introducing me to investors and what have you. And straight away he said off the bat, "Wow, this is great. Like, I can stop using StreamYard. It's $3.99 a month." He's like, "If I can host AMAs and I can restream into X and YouTube," and he's like, "This is awesome. This is a no-brainer." So that was really, really encouraging. And then I spoke to a privacy-based investor as well, who's quite enthused by the technology and how it works, and it is genuinely unique in the market versus other privacy-based video platforms. So there you go.
Yeah, I think I even like from time to time I think about, I'm like, there's really not many competitors in this space. It's pretty desolate. I mean, when it comes to restreaming streams to multi-platform streaming, there's not many that are doing it, right? I think Riverside and StreamYard, those ones that reach like mass adoption. But yeah, I'm maybe you guys are more equipped with that, but as far as multi-streaming platforms, and especially doing it in a private way, and I saw that there was a question on X about exactly how we're doing it, and maybe we can go into that in a little bit. But just yeah, there's not many people out there that are doing it, especially with the peer-to-peer rails that StreamrApp is doing it on.
Yeah, and also on Web3 rails as well. It's important. Like, the end user can't see or understand that they're using Web3 technology necessarily. But what's quite an interesting trend at the moment is government regulation and policies are meaning that platforms are becoming more strict. So just today, or I think it was yesterday, Discord announced they're adding age verification and a whole host of other features that look to identify you, right? So as we go into a world which is increasingly AI powered, is increasingly agentic, the amount of data you're sharing on a day-to-day basis, if you live online, is quite scary. Like, these AI systems are picking up and learning more and more about you as an individual, and everyone should be worried about that. And I think those that work in tech and understand how it works are concerned about it. And then I think that's going to spill into more of the mainstream over time. So the time is right, because streamer video is built on trustless technology, so it's secure, and it's also permissionless. So you can come in, you can create your account in a permissionless manner using Web3 tech. Yeah, you'll create a Web3 wallet or use your existing Web3 wallet, but we've done it in such a way that's really easy for non-Web3 native users to do that. You literally click a few buttons, it generates a seed phrase, done. Don't have to sign over your email address or anything like that. So this is the start of the journey in terms of security and privacy. There's lots there to be done, lots of work there to be done. So it's great, it's exciting. So yeah, on that note, we could have a look at a Figma just to show what is the latest is in terms of sort of roadmap and Streamer Beta. Petri, I know you'd like to do that. There's a few things you might want to flag. Shall I share the Figma? You can tell me where we can what to look at.
Yeah, I think I could keep my update as well. So
yeah, do you want to do that first, and then we'll jump in the Figma?
Things are actually looking pretty positive at the moment. So what we are working on is that, since now we are a two-man team in the technical side, so I have been working on debugging and performance optimizations of the core technology, meaning the Streamer Alpha that you see. You shall still find quite a lot of bugs and quirks in there, and those that I'm currently working on and fixing. So everything needs to be just right. I have heard this comment many times over that, okay, this is a great product if it actually works. And that's what I'm currently working on, to make it work well, to make it actually work. And I'm making great progress in that. So I have been able to identify a lot of like performance bottlenecks, and I'm solving those. So I think the product will be quite awesome. And in the meantime, so Santeri has been working on implementing new features that are coming out in beta, and now we are going to go through the Figma designs that we are implementing, or Santeri is currently implementing. So all the fancy beta features, and maybe we can have a look and discuss and see how the user flows will actually go in the beta.
Yeah. You want to jump into those now, Petri? Should I share the screen?
Yes, that would be awesome. Yes.
Cool. All right. Do you want me to walk through it, Petri, or do you want to? I mean, you're a bit closer to it than I am, but I can do it if you want.
Yeah, maybe. Is there any way of getting all these extra windows and panels to disappear, or could we actually, if you have the possibility of designing a new scene here, so that this screen sharing could take over the whole screen, and maybe then have our faces on top of that.
Yeah, let me see.
This is a little bit small now.
Let me see what we can do in the meantime.
Yeah, but we can start with this already. So basically, you can already see these new colors already in the alpha. So our,
like this.
yes,
Is this better?
Yeah, this is better. This is better. Yes.
Okay. Or I could do this. Which one did you prefer?
I think the one with the biggest screen share possible. It's the best. Okay, so let's dig into it. So maybe we can work so that, Mark, if you can zoom into these different screens so that they become actually visible to the viewers, and then we can talk them through. So this is the
Petri, just to warn you, there's about 100 screens here, so we're going to have to select which ones to go through. So
these are not so interesting. This is like the beginning screen that we already have. So we can go to the actual functionality. So maybe one thing to note is on the top right, there we have this person icon, and it's saying Pro. I think I cannot really.
that one says that's free. That's before, because before they signed up to Pro level.
Free status now. But then when you actually log in, it will turn to show your status to Pro. Okay, yeah. So this is important. If you scroll up to the account. Okay. So what will happen from that button? It has this account menu opening from that button, and from that button you open this dialog where you can give your name, and then you can log in or sign up for free. And what will happen from this login or sign up for free button is that we are going to bring up this open fort crypto wallet creation that happens with the by giving your biometrics. So we have discussed this before, and I think I already shared with you guys the link. But it's
Petri, quick question for those users that don't want to use their biometrics. Can they use their like external key, like a YubiKey? Do you know?
Yes, I mean OpenFort has many options of signing up. So you can use your existing wallet. You can use some hardware wallet. You can even use Google. So
like your login process is almost customizable. You know, there's a lot of functionality there.
Yeah, there are many options, but the easiest way, of course, is to just give your fingerprint and you are ready to go. And that will create this. It will use this WebAuthn standard, but it will create a secret key securely on your device.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And this is now.
Shall I talk about the plans and pricing a little bit and how that works?
Yes.
Yeah. So quite simply, when we embarked on this a couple of months ago, we started talking about a freemium model. We've kind of moved on in our thinking from that. We want most users to become pro-level users, i.e. subscribers, but we want the subscription cost to be very low. So it's a micro subscription. So the cost is going to be $3.99 a month. And the way it works is if you're a pro user, you're bringing users in through Meet to Earn. You're going to earn 50% of other users' subscription every month. And then when that user comes in, they're a free user for 14 days. They get to trial and use the product for 14 days. And the logic is that that's the kind of, in growth marketing, it's called the kind of green dot onboarding phase. And the idea is after 14 days, they're going to experience the product and are willing to make the subscription, right? So we don't ask them to pay for the $3.99 up front. That happens at the 14 days. And that's done currently, the subscription is done via fiat because, as you know, we're trying to take this to a Web 2 audience. We're trying to abstract away all the Web 3 kind of friction points. At a later stage in 2026, we'll introduce crypto payments via data token, but that's coming later. So yeah, essentially that's how the model is going to work. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we can continue to cure and we can stop whenever there's something interesting popping up that we would like to talk about.
Yeah, so this is all the sort of free account sign up stuff, and then you've got the pro account. So when you're a pro user, what you're going to see in your pro account, you can see here, Mark S, he's a pro. His Meet to Earn is on. So the referral marketing system works through product cookies, of course. Now, for privacy advocates using the product, they might not want to use Meet to Earn. And so there's an option for them to turn that off and go into Anon mode. So you see that here. And then here you can see that this person has brought in one other user. So they're earning $1.99 a month, which is 50% of that other user's subscription. There's a manage button, so you can go in there for more detail. And there's also a unique URL referral link that people can share for referrals. But note that actually, as you're doing your day-to-day business with Streamer and you're on calls, you're broadcasting, you don't have to use your referral link. Your referral link is built into your meeting or your session URL. So it all happens kind of automatically. So let's say, for example, you're doing a team call on a Monday morning and you're inviting in 5 of your colleagues for the first time. Those 5 colleagues come in as guests, free users. 2 of them then go to sign up to Streamer. You're going to earn 50% of those 2 users' subscription on a monthly basis. And that all happens kind of automatically is the idea. So that's how Meet to Earn kind of works. What else to show on here? Yeah, so a bit more about the subscription. As a pro user, you're going to see details of your subscription, of course, and all the features that you get. We've talked about these features before, but just to recap, meeting host IP protection. We use the operator node, Streamer operator nodes, to obfuscate IP address, and it masks where the session is being hosted from. There's something called Broadcast Booster, which helps you live stream and broadcast in challenging environments, let's say internationally. Say you want to host a live stream out of Miami and you want to send that to your community, and some of your community are in Asia, then Broadcast Booster helps you do that. Again, we're leveraging the operator nodes to do that. There's something called Bandwidth Saver, which again is a operator node solution. And then with the pro users, you get 50 gigabytes of encrypted video recordings per month. Now, as we go to market, this is a centralized solution using AWS. Later in 26, we're going to get into decentralized video recordings because it's more secure, it's serverless. But we didn't feel like that was a priority from day one. Obviously we've got a lot to do before we ship the beta in March. And then built-in safe payments via Stripe, which we know about already. So yeah, this is kind of the pro level subscription. And yeah, you've got a nice little button at the bottom there. Congrats, you earn 50% recurring reward. Okay, so that's the pro level. And then you've got this homepage that some of you might recognize from Streamer TV MVP. So this is upcoming and past sessions. And yeah, you can click in here and you can see the recording of that session. So on your kind of homepage, you can see all your past sessions and upcoming sessions as well. So yeah, you can get an idea for that. I think we've seen all of that before. So then, and then there's a scheduling session. This again, we've seen before. Although I think this calendar part here is new. Can't remember actually. So yeah. So there's lots of screens to share. I'm just wondering which one's the priority, Petri, because we could be here all day at this rate.
Well, we still have time. We can go browsing through briefly and just keeping those that we have already seen. So there's this preview thing that you can already see in alpha.
Yeah. The session features, there's a lot in here. We could go through some of this.
Yes.
Do you want to take the lead, Petri, or do you want me to talk through it? I don't mind.
I think it's good that you talk through them and I can give some details. Especially, those with this pinned title, those screens look interesting.
Yeah.
So you zoom into those because there you are going to see this film strip. So what I'm referring to as the film strip is seen below the big video. So there you see the other speakers who are not currently in the big video. So this is a very important component in our system. And if you happen to be the host and you are streaming out this broadcast, so you're going to be using this film strip to choose that which videos will be shown in the actual scene. But maybe we can continue our journey, and when we come to those scene editing views and such, so those are very, very interesting, in my opinion, very well designed.
Yeah. I mean, it's inspired by StreamYard, essentially. It seems the easiest way to do it from a sort of UX perspective, right?
Yes.
So here are some share screen designs. For those that have used the MVP, you would have seen these before. Viewer point of view, so there's different kind of viewer perspectives here. So you get quite a lot of control as a viewer. I'm not going to talk through all of these now, but
I think that there's this one important button there that you request to speak. This is something that actually Santeri now has the first implementation of, and this is something that where we are unique if compared to StreamYard. For so if you are a viewer in a streamer stream, you will have this request to speak button. And what will open from that one, maybe you can still go left. No, there was nothing. Okay. So go back to the previous one. Yeah. So when you press this request to speak button, you will open this kind of private chat with the host, where you can request the permission to speak. So you say that, hey, I have this wonderful idea that I want to present, and then you can discuss with the host that, okay, yeah, this sounds very good. Let's bring you in.
So there's some more examples of this UX in a bit that we'll show.
Yes.
This is kind of inspired by X Spaces. So say, for example, Petri and I and Adiv are having this call, and we're live streaming to the community, and someone from the community wants to come and speak. As with X Spaces, they can request to speak. We can bring them on the panel, on the stage, and we do that. So, what we're getting to here is some sort of video conferencing super app whereby we're combining Google Meet and StreamYard and X Spaces all in one. And it's quite interesting because it's Streamer core infrastructure project that the network, the protocol that allows that, allows that to happen. That's what powers it. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
So this is the next feature that we are going to implement, or we have actually one implementation in peer review now. So stay tuned; it will come pretty soon.
Awesome. So this is broadcaster point of view. Just so you see it on the other side. I don't think we need to go into the detail. Well, here you can see like there's a kind of chat function as you're broadcasting for the panelists, and then also for the guests and the audience as well can comment there if it's set up in that way, is my understanding. Petri, is that right?
And there on the top you can see that, okay, 2 requests to speak.
Yeah.
And then you click on that one, and then you can start chatting with those guys who requested to speak.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Picture in picture, I don't think we need to talk about that. Leave session. I'm just going to quickly mention this. Obviously, this is just leave session, which is really straightforward, but this is quite interesting, right? So not on all of the calls, but we're going to serve this question to some users on a regular basis. And we're building a system in the back end, a simple system where we're tracking the response to this one question. This one question is, how would you feel if you could no longer use this product? That question comes from the Superhuman case study. So the CEO of Superhuman is very clear that he thinks he can track the journey towards product market fit by the response to this question. And so that's why we've put this one question in. And if the benchmark you're trying to get to is if 40% of your users say they're very disappointed that they can no longer use this product, that's when you've hit product market fit. So we expect as we bring this product to market, we're probably not going to hit 40%, right? But the product's going to improve with time. We'll improve the bugs. We'll add more features as we learn what our users want. And then we've got to get to that 40% number. And we're going to track that sequentially or chronologically. So that's what that's about. It's sort of product review in app. So emoji reactions, we've seen this before. I don't think we need to talk about that. Recording, fairly straightforward. There's a record function. There's toasts as well. Yeah, Petri, do you want to talk around toasts and how that sort of differs?
Well, not much to say about that, really. I mean, it's basic UI functionality, but I think the funky stuff comes in this session layout tab, and we could talk about that in a moment. Okay, this is the people view. This is important and interesting because this is how the host manages these speakers, and you can change the status of of the people in the call. So if there's some speaker that you don't want to be in the call anymore, somebody who's doing something inappropriate, so here you can kick people out. Here you can, I think the copy here is not correct. This raised hands should read actually requesting to speak.
Yeah.
But this is how you can basically drag and drop people from this requesting to speak to become a speaker. So this is how the host will see it.
Yeah. Chat
Okay,
function.
This has been seen.
Stage setter. Okay, so this is part of the funky stuff, as you say, Petri.
Yes. So this is inspired by StreamYard, but I would say that our design is better than that. So basically on the bottom you have this film strip of all the speakers in the show, and this is something that is only seen by the host himself, and what is being streamed out is now shown in this big video. So now you have this kind of session with a single video layout, but we will have other layouts as well. But in the single video layout, you can actually use this as kind of a director's view. Let's say that you are streaming, let's say, a sports event, and you have multiple people filming the event with their phones. So those people will be shown here in the film strip as speakers, and you can click on these videos on the film strip to choose which video will go on air and at what time. So this is actually rather powerful functionality. So yeah, you can continue to the other streams. So we have yes, we will have different kind of layouts available, and the idea of these layouts is that okay, you choose one layout from here, and afterwards you will be able to edit it in place. So let's say that you choose this layout with 2 videos. So it will pop up and replace this single video there. There you will have 2 videos, and then you will be able to place those 2 videos into different places, and you will be able to adjust the sizes of those videos.
Yeah.
And then there is this scenes functionality. It's actually this panel on the left. It is popped out with this button in the bottom. There's this button for showing or hiding this scenes panel. Okay, there. So here you can show. Here you can choose which scene is actually currently in use, and you can also edit and add new scenes. So the scenes are similar to actually kind of a virtual desktop in an operating system. So you click on some scene, and then you edit it in place. As I mentioned, that let's say you click on scene 2, it will pop up. It will pop up on the right in the main view. Then you choose the layout, the initial layout, do the arrangements, I mean placing of the videos, choosing the video sizes and so on. And then you can go back to another scene to edit that one. And And then you have this show on stage button, which actually chooses the scene that is currently being broadcasted on air. So you can kind of edit the scenes in backstage, and then when you are ready with the editing, you can press this show on stage button and it becomes active.
Love it. Fantastic. Okay, great. I'm just trying to think what else we need to show, Petri. This is like options. So session link and audience link is quite interesting. So obviously you can have two different URLs, one for panelists, one for audience. And just a reminder, because it's Streamer, it hyperscales, we can do unlimited audience size for any stream, which is quite unique in the space. This URL is not white, by the way, tv.streamer.network. That'll be updated. That will say app.streamer.com.
Yes. So we are going to actually have also third link type, and that is for the co-hosts. So the idea is that you can have more hosts than one, which is of course desirable for various reasons.
Yeah.
Let's say the host is, what if a host needs to leave in the middle of the session? So it's good to have multiple hosts who can take over the program.
Yeah. Also.
But yeah, basically, so we have these different link types that you can share. Then maybe the interesting point is this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think, Adev, you had some questions from audience about this, was it?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Actually, let me ask that right now. But that is a lot more cleaner than StreamYard. I will say that.
I thought you'd like that, Dave. Yeah,
StreamYard is really clunky how to actually start streaming on it. Listen, if we can get this multi-streaming running, like it has such a strong use case because StreamYard isn't the best at it, Riverside isn't the best at it, and a lot of people are trying to do this now.
Dave, why do you say Riverside and StreamYard aren't the best of it?
It's like I said, the UI is just like a bit of a clunky experience. Like you got to do a lot of you got to like open up a lot of different tabs, the style features. You get used to StreamYard. It's probably the easier one to use. And it's a good platform. At the end of the day, I'm not talking bad about them. They're a good platform. I just think there's some things that with the UI is just not intuitive. Yeah. And it seems like we've made it more simple, more intuitive than the current players in the game.
And 10 times cheaper.
Yeah, and it's a lot cheaper. Like you could use StreamYard for free, but then you can only stream on 3 social media platforms, right? So after that, you have to pay like $15, $20 a month for just a basic package, and then everything that you're very limited on what you can do as far as design goes and everything of that nature. So yeah, like still usable, which is cool. Like you still have some usability out of it, the free version, but just like we will. But
like anyone that's like professional content creating streamer, they're going to trade up to the core product.
Yeah, 100%.
45 euros a month.
Wow, yeah, like spending $4 a month on being able to stream on all the different platforms, having high speed and low latency, and then as well creating creator design as much as you want. Like it's basically the same, if not better, than StreamYard, and I'm assuming that we're going to have like the decentralization aspect of it, right, and the peer-to-peer aspect that's going to be there already. I'm not so sure on that, and even there's a question about that. How will multi-streaming capabilities influence the types of decentralized data sources you see being integrated? That was a question that I saw in one of the comments that was interesting.
Yeah, this is a very important point, and the short answer to that is that okay, we have this host role, and it's going to be the host who is rendering the outgoing video on his browser, and it is this stream that will be streamed to these services. And then when it comes to our strong points in privacy, you might have noticed that when you go to StreamYard, you actually need to give pretty powerful rights to StreamYard. You need to click, when you go to YouTube, for instance, you need to give StreamYard the right to manage your YouTube account. I mean, full rights to your YouTube account. And in my opinion, that's quite crazy. So we are, at least initially, we are doing this quite differently. So our idea is that, I mean, technically how it will work is that we are going to have end-to-end encrypted RTMPS connection to each of these services. So the host, you as the host, you don't trust us. You don't need to give us the permission to manage your YouTube account, for instance. So this will work so that we implement the RTMPS protocol in the browser and send this and create a connection to these services one by one using a very simple WebSocket to TCP proxy that is running on our servers. And that proxy is not going to be able to decrypt the stream, nor it is able to manage your YouTube account or do anything of the sort. So it's going to be end-to-end encrypted tunnel that goes through this WebSocket to TCP proxy to each of these services.
Just to chime in here, I was just going to add the point that from our sort of value proposition perspective, you know, we're solving the problem of security in a world that is increasingly AI powered, in a world where increasing numbers of parties are taking everyone's data in order to train AI models. So what Petri's talking about, I think, is quite consistent with that value proposition.
Yes.
So if you know, as that trend of security concerns continues, and it will over the coming decades, then it's going to become understood by a broader and broader audience that these things are important, and you need to use the right technologies and solutions for them.
Yes, exactly. So in our solution, this WebSocket to TCP proxy is untrusted. You don't need to trust that component at all. So this is our strong point in security and also in decentralization. So in the future, we might actually be running this proxy servers on the operator nodes instead of our servers, because this component doesn't need to be trusted. So any operator node runner can run that component and earn tokens by doing that, and this operator node runner doesn't need to be trusted. So this is the model that we foresee in the future. Our first version will be server based. We will be running those WebSocket to TCP proxies ourselves, but in the future we see this possibility of running those proxies on the operator nodes.
Right, and so one other point to clarify, Petri, in the multi-stream use case, the vision is that audience participants can then request to speak in an X Spaces type manner, right? They can request, they can put their hand up and request to join the panel.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the right screen here.
I don't know. Did we lose Petri? Or is he still there?
I think we lost him. Yeah.
No, I'm still here. Still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you get my point, Petri?
Yes. Yeah, it's absolutely correct. That's what we are planning to do. Just a moment.
See, this is the real advantage over StreamYard or Restream, I believe. Like at the moment, we see comments on the right-hand side. We can't respond to all of those comments because they're in different channels. So, for example, Benjamin Franklin put a comment via X. I can see the comment, but I can't respond as I'm live streaming. I tried to respond to that question, and it's posted the message in YouTube.
So, yeah, I saw that.
Right, so that's a classic example. Like with our solution, Benjamin Franklin can ask the question and I can respond to him directly into X. Secondly, if Benjamin Franklin wants to come and speak to us on this live show, he just raises his hand and can join.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
That is sick. That's a whole nother level.
That is all another. Actually, I didn't even understand that till you mentioned it, but that's one of the big issues when you multi-streaming. Like you can't, if people are on different channels, they can't come on to the main platform because it's on that specific channel. So essentially, what is happening when they listen to it on X or listening into YouTube or LinkedIn, they're able to still go on to the stream as a speaker if they wanted to on StreamrApp.
Yes.
If I'm hearing that correctly.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So our idea is that in these multi-streaming destinations, we shall market this opportunity of becoming a speaker. So we're going to push through this message that come to watch on StreamrApp instead, so you can participate. So the YouTube users will show this advertisement that, hey, click on this link and watch on StreamrApp instead and participate. Because from YouTube you cannot do it.
From YouTube you can't, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Really cool.
Right, so anything else to share in the Figma? Let me just have a quick look. Can you still see it on the screen? Maybe you can.
No, yeah, I can show.
I think that's the majority of it, to be honest, so far. There's going to be some sort of account sign up and login screens that people haven't seen yet, which look pretty clean, which is cool. Yeah, they're not complete yet, but you get the idea. This is kind of some of the intro pages. Yeah, and then there's all the mobile stuff as well that needs to be done as well and optimized for. So that's a ton of work. But yeah.
Yeah, this is not a vibe code app like people think that could be done in 48 hours. As you can see, is a lot of effort and time put into this. A lot of pages on Figmas that are put into this. It's not an easy project whatsoever. So that's why this has been taking time, and it's been everyone's been very meticulous about how they're approaching this whole project, because it is a project that is all about people's privacy and user privacy, kind of taking the data back to our own hands and not letting big corporations harvesting our data, taking advantage of our personal identity and stuff of that nature. So this is a very, very high end and intricate, not an easy project to accomplish by any means.
I'd say that's right. Yeah, I'd say the timing's right as well. In that every day we see these kind of narratives in social media and media outlets. This increasing concerns around security, privacy, permissionless access, etc. So yeah, we're excited to get the beta out the door in March. Pushing hard to try and make that happen because there's a lot still to go. But yeah, I think we're fairly confident we can get there. Cool. So
I have another question from the audience. How does the new alpha client simplify the process for users to start streaming data? I guess the new Streamer Alpha. How does this simplify the process for users to start streaming data? I don't know if that's to do anything with us or Streamer, maybe Streamer Network, but not Streamer App.
I think that's more of a Streamer Network question.
Yeah.
Than the Streamer App. Streamer App's solely focused on video streaming. So, so in answer to the question, the alpha doesn't help you stream data via the Streamer Network. Well, it does if you're streaming a video streaming, if you're sending video streaming data through the network. That's what the application's for, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we've got some new questions coming in that I'm seeing from YouTube. What is the question? When is the question and answer session? This is a Q&A session. If you want to answer questions, ask away. We'll answer them now. If you want to join the panel, I don't think we can easily do that. But yeah, ask as many questions as you want, and we'll answer them now. So Salam's next question was: you focused a lot on the product. I understand your concerns, but do you also understand the concerns of data investors? You didn't dwell much on the price of data currency. What's the most effective? Yeah. So let's get into the discussion around the data token. We touched on at the beginning of this call. Obviously, we've had the bad news with respect to Binance. Big setback for the project. Very frustrating. First of all, I'll address the point that I've been called a scammer on X and other social media channels, publicly and privately via DMs. I will defend my position on that until the day I die. I can understand people's anger and frustration with the decline in token price. We've tried to do what we can to support the token price as best as we can, and within the legal and regulatory constraints that we face. Streamer has always been a project that does things in the right way, and we're not one of those projects that's going to instigate some sort of pump and dump, which people have suggested to me that I do. We will never do that. We think the right way to support the data token in the long term is to build product that people want to generate revenue, and for those revenues to support the data token. And so that means introducing the data token in terms of functionality in this video streaming application and Streamer Video. And we've started doing that already. So on the screens you showed earlier, you'll note there was some features such as IP obfuscation, broadcast booster and bandwidth saver. And you heard Petri talking about going to serverless solutions for RTMPS via operator nodes. So this whole project and effort with Streamer Video is about supporting the underlying tokenomics of Streamer. And when we become revenue generating, that money is going to go into paying for sponsorship contracts at the operator node level. And so, as we turn this ship around and this business grows, it's going to support the network, support the token and the tokenomics in the legitimate and sustainable manner that will last for the years to come. So, we think that's the right strategy and the right approach. There aren't many deep in Web3 infrastructure projects that got it right at the moment. There's a few notable ones, but the ones that are winning are the ones that are generating real world revenue. So look at the GeoDNets, Helium, etc. We want to be one of those projects. That's our turnaround story, and that's the journey we're on. So that's how I'd answer that question. Any other questions coming in?
I think someone asked about what about the crypto wallet when I guess you're showcasing the app. Oh wait, that was last call, I think.
Yeah. You always get the old questions, Adib.
No, that was this call. It just says 1:53 p.m. I guess I'm getting like different time zones in here. That's why.
Yeah, I'm not seeing all of these questions, to be honest, but
maybe it's just it's weird. Winning different time zones and stuff. But yeah, that was the only. Yeah, I guess that was it. The two questions that were asked were
Yeah,
on the
Benjamin
Twitter
Franklin
post.
asked, after I answered I had already talked about this at the beginning of the call, but the question from Benjamin Franklin was, delisting is a big blow to the project's funding. Do you have a plan to raise funds for the project? Because selling tokens will have no value and currently makes no sense. 100% agree. So we started a seed round. We're going to start pitching to investors next week. Had a few early conversations this week. It takes time to raise capital. We need to get feedback from VCs and angels as to, does the pitch make sense? Are we investable? How much should we be investing? How quickly? And I need to work out which kind of investors are going to be interested in this kind of a product. Is it going to be Web3 funds, Web2 funds, privacy or security-based investors, or video streaming platform type investors? So there's a lot of work there to be done. Starting to have those conversations now. I think in reality, the way that this is going to work, because we need to raise money quite quickly, is we'll raise a bridge round. So call that a pre-seed or whatever you want to call it, and then that'll keep the lights on for 3 months or so, and then we'll get into a bigger seed round in the second half of the year. I think that's probably the way that this is going to pan out. But yeah, we're raising capital in a sort of traditional model to fund the growth of streamer video. And then what we need to do is get traction on streamer video, understand our cost of acquisition and lifetime value. LTV takes a little bit longer to understand, obviously, because you need months and months of cohort data. But cost of acquisition is easy for us to build those assumptions. From what I see with our paid ads, our CPC is about, I don't know, 65 cents to $1, depending on sort of campaigns and platforms. And then that kind of ladders up to a $30, $35 cost of acquisition if you look at it in those very simple terms. But the secret sauce is referral marketing, and so that's why we built Meet to Earn, and that can drive the virality and bring the cost of acquisition down. This is really, really key, because when we go to raise the seed round, the bigger seed round back into 2026, and especially as we go into 27 and raise the Series A, you need to have those hard business metrics in place. And we kind of knew this 6 months ago, which is why we embarked on this venture of building streamer video and building a robust business with traditional revenue streams. This has been the strategy all along, and we continue to execute against it, and we just need to stay on this path, and good things will happen.
Yeah, staying on the path, being focused. We have another question. Will the data token be used as payment method in the StreamrApp product?
Yes. Not from launch with the streamer beta. We've started with a fiat payment rail because crypto tokens introduce a level of friction, and the Web3 audience is much smaller than the Web2 audience. But yeah, we want to introduce data token payments later in the year. And the reason for that is it helps protect identity, right? So at the moment with StreamrApp, you're going to create an account in a permissionless manner. So you're going to get a seed phrase, you're going to get a Web3 wallet, or you can use your existing Web3 wallet. But then when you come to become a pro user and pay for a subscription, we're going to ask you to go into Stripe, at which point you have to hand over an email address to Stripe, okay? So for privacy advocates, that's a compromise. They don't want to hand over an email address. So later in the year, we're going to provide a payment rail, which is through the data token, which is pseudonymous. We could go down on the rabbit hole on that, but pseudonymous essentially means that it's not fully anonymous, in that if someone really wanted to find out where you could get that data token from, that they can, and then they can track your identity back from that, although it's a very, very difficult and specialist thing to do. But obviously we can introduce the data token for crypto payment rail later in the year relatively easily, and then maybe there's privacy-based tokens that we can use for payment further down the line. But that's not central. We don't think that that's a priority right now. So that would be further down the roadmap. Yeah.
Cool. There's another question. Will data token issuance be discontinued, or are there any plans?
Data token issuance, right? Okay, so let's so everyone's on the same page. what's been originally, pre my time in Streamer with the ICO, there were 1 billion tokens that were minted, and those 1 billion tokens have funded, not all of the 1 billion tokens, but the tokens that were taken by the company and the founders have been used to fund the core team behind Streamer. And at some point in time, 2 or 3 years ago, those tokens were exhausted and spent. And so over the last 2 years, the project has been funded by emissions. And so there's always been the case with unit economics. There's a total in the smart contract of 2 billion tokens that can be minted. And so in recent SIPs and Streamer investment proposals, then we've minted tranches of 100 million tokens. And these emissions have increased supply, and the community have not been happy with that. So in the last SIP, we said very clearly in response to that we're not going to do token emissions anymore. And actually, because the token has been delisted from Binance and the price has come off, like we can't rely on that as a funding mechanic. So that's why we're going into traditional equity raise from VCs and angel investors, a different model of funding. So yeah, I'm seeing a few more questions come through now. Weirdly, are you reaching out to USA investors? Yeah. I mean, naturally, we're based in Europe, so we've got a bit more of a network in Europe. But actually, we're building our investor network out kind of week by week, and it's a global world we live in. So we'll be speaking to US investors, especially in the Web3 space, I believe. And we're going to be speaking to those investors on StreamrApp, which is cool. So those conversations remain secure and private.
I think that's all the questions. But yeah, it's weird that his questions are coming in like now, but yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, our products will be better.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Another reason why we'll be better than StreamyApp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking through the questions. I think we answered them all. Yeah, guys, if you've got any more questions, then post them in the X thread or whatever social media platform you're on. We'll try and respond. If you want to follow up with more detail, jump in the Discord. You can find the Discord link on the bottom of the core project's website. So at the bottom of streamer.network, jump into the Discord there. I'm fairly active. I'm in there a couple of times a week. I'm not in there all day, every day. Petri's in there now and again. If you've got any questions, build suggestions, leave them in there, and we'll try and respond ASAP. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, man. Cool. Thanks, Steve, for hosting again.
No problem. Sounds good. I guess we'll end it there. Thank you guys for joining, and yeah, we'll next in 2 weeks we'll do it. And if you guys are streaming on StreamrApp, share what you're streaming, showcase it, showcase what you're creating on StreamrApp, what you plan to do. Try to build your own community via people watching your streams. Do your video conferences, your business conferences on StreamrApp. It's live right now. The alpha app is live, so you can utilize it and start to actually play around with it, have feedback for us, so we can basically reinforce what Streamer beta will look like.
Yeah, so go and play with the alpha. It's at tv.streamer.network/alpha. So it's tv.streamer.network/alpha. And what that is a simple video conferencing product, and it allows for many-to-many, which means that you can have a video call with your team. It could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, probably up to about 10 speakers in total. What we can't do with the alpha is allow you to broadcast unlimited audience sizes. That's going to come with the beta. So Petri's working on that. But yeah, the alpha works pretty well on laptop. So we haven't optimized for mobile. So if you're going to use it, use your laptops, use Chrome browser. And yeah, I'm hosting all my business meetings on it now. So it's pretty good. It's pretty robust for an alpha product. Now, what would really help is if you use it, jump into the Discord, give us feedback on your experience, what worked, what didn't. Like the more feedback we can get at this stage, the better. Yeah. So
is this the right link on the screen?
Yeah, at the bottom of the screen.
And you can also just go to streamer.com and then it'll navigate you to the right spot. So either or.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Adib. Thanks, Petri. Thanks to the community. I know it's tough times, but we've got to stay positive. Let's keep smiling, keep the energy up, keep executing. Let's get the beta out the door. Let's go and raise some money. Let's get some paying users in, and then let's turn this around. That's the plan.
Yep, love it.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
See you guys. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.